Good morning. Good morning. Today is Monday, April 8th, 2024, and I can't believe that we are already in April. It's just astonishing how fast time can move sometimes at the same time as it can be so extremely slow, and you feel like nothing's moving and nothing is changing at all. So it's interesting how we can be on both sides of the dichotomy for that thing that we call time. So welcome in present time today. And we're happy to have you. Today is also a very special day of the solar eclipse. So that comes with a most certainly different set of energies. And it will be interesting to see what it brings forward is a lot of change, a lot of fear can come up for a lot of people, and also quite some upheaval. So, because it goes dark and then it shines light back on it, it's interesting and very fitting to the topic that I picked for today. I decided we're going to connect with our inner little child today and just say hello and give it a space to have some communication around that. And since this is a Monday morning meditation to send you off great into your week, you can certainly always decide for yourself how deep you want to go. But since it's a short meditation, I would prefer to have it on the lighter side so I won't guide you as deep as you may want to go on your own. So let's go ahead and get started. You guys can start to close your eyes if you haven't done so already. And well, as always, just take a really nice deep breath. Allow yourself to have a sigh of relief. You made it. You made it to the meditation. Some of us made it even in body into the meditation or into body Zoom space. So wherever this finds you, welcome. Welcome to present time. And you can even notice the energy of the solar eclipse, even if that is not present time anymore when you listen to that meditation. Give yourself a moment to follow your breath. And just focus on the breath for a moment. Nothing else. Not all the hoopla of this coming week, of the past weekend, of the past week. Just notice how you're breathing in and how you're breathing out. Sometimes it helps our bodies if we're counting quietly for ourselves. If we're counting to 4 while we're breathing in, we can stop at the top of our breath and hold our breath for 4. And then you can breathe out for 6. And just allow yourself to do that a few times. And for some of us who have meditated for some time, allow yourself to recognize that feeling of, oh, I know what we're doing here. Your nervous system is like, oh good, we're here, we have arrived. And sometimes, even if we've meditated for years or decades or months, it's there are days, there can be many days, where arriving in present time and finding that nervous system calm down does not happen. We're too much all over the place, too much going on outside, maybe of our window of tolerance, of the things that we can deal with. And so the point is to extend grace to yourself and just let it be. It is what it is. And that alone, that compassion towards yourself, allow that compassion for yourself to really come in, as you might be feeling like you're all over the place. That allows for your nervous system to really calm down and allow yourself to be in that graceful space of present time. What really helps to get you in present time, if your mind is going crazy, you can go ahead and ground yourself. You can attach that grounding to the very base of your spine, allowing a very clear image to show up, what really works for you today. Maybe today you want to use something much different than from what you've used before. And it's like, if you're an 80s kid, so to speak, we always tucked our shirts in. So if you want to tuck your grounding cord into your aura space, so to speak, so it's really nice and neatly and it doesn't allow for any gaps. So you can release everything and anything out of your space that does not serve your highest good for right now. Go ahead and use one of those images. If you find some amusement around that, even better. And make sure it goes all the way to the center of the earth. And then start to release all the stress, all the demands on your space, even that inner critic. Let it slide out on a ginormous big playground slide, all the way down and out of your space. Notice how you're creating a safe haven for your mind to settle down, for your nervous system to relax, for your heart to open up more. And for your higher self to communicate with you more direct. Maybe you can hear it. If you haven't heard it before, now's the time. And as you're starting to relax more into your space, you can check in with your heart space. And whatever image your higher self is showing you for your heart space, you can just go with that. It can be a beautiful garden, it can be at the beach, it can be one of your favorite places, it can be just a color. Allow just about anything that comes up that validates you. That is open. And from that heart space, you can imagine that little girl or boy to show up and show themselves to you. Let them show you a picture of what they would like to show up as. Your inner little boy or girl. And just notice whatever comes up, however they show up. They might bring a little baggage with them. They might have a pet along with them. Allow that inner part of yourself that holds so much information just to come forward in that sacred heart space of yours. And start to establish this connection with them. Allow yourself to take in any and all of the details of what they look like, how they behave, they bring something along, what's the scenery around it, and just observe. You can say hello to them if you haven't seen them in forever. Feel free to introduce yourself as the beautiful grown-up version of them. If you've worked with your inner child before, you can just extend your well wishes. It's good to see you again. You may notice changes. And for right now, I really just want you to establish a connection to them. You can tell them all the things as if you were to introduce yourself to other grown-up friends of yourself. the things that you think would be important for your inner child to know. Maybe you realized there were things that your little child wasn't able to do, and now as a grown-up you've mastered that. And just allow that space to flourish, have, to start building trust. You may even notice there is right away a lot of things that your inner child might come forward with when you introduce yourself and tell them all the things that have changed since you were them. Maybe you notice there are things that you were not able as a little kid to deal with. And yet now as a grown-up, you have worked around those. You have better tools available. You have a grounded space available. And then you can go ahead and ask that little girl how they are today. Is there anything in particular they would like to communicate with you? If you've worked with your inner child before, this might be an elaborate conversation where he or she dives in straight up. If this is one of the first times that you've been meeting with your inner child, they may just give you a little glance at who they are. Just as if you're meeting someone for the first time. You're not gonna, usually, you don't go ahead and spill all the beans right away. See, sometimes they have something really important for us to say, even if it's been a while that we've connected with them, and then also validate that. Just as if you would meet someone who will be a great friend of yours in the future. There is a deep connection and there's deep healing available for us if we're connecting with our own inner child and give it a voice. Down the road, even allowing it to speak all the things that need to be spoken. And then go ahead and you might want to give that inner child of yours a hug, thanking it for coming forward, thanking them that they were feeling safe enough to show up and chat with you. assuring them that you are creating a trustworthy space for them to come and talk about all the things that need to be talked about in order for you to heal, to make amends, and to build trust that you will take care of them. And as you're doing that, just notice what happens in your heart space. If you notice there is great excitement, even joy, happiness for that connection to be there. At the same time, you may notice a lot of grief, pain, sadness, even apathy, hopelessness, helplessness. There might be a wide array of feelings and emotions that come up and are ready to go. You can all just let it go out through your grounding cord. And in the coming days and weeks, I would encourage you to check in with your inner child every so often. Like Thich Nhat Hanh suggested, to write a letter. If you're not into writing, you can have conversations. You can journal. You can record. You can just meditate. Whatever works for you, don't overcomplicate it. Because that's what keeps us from doing it. So with that said, go ahead and you may bow in gratefulness towards your inner little child that they showed up. Thank it for always having been there, and that you will certainly take great care of them now. May you be well. May you have love. May you have peace. You can extend those words to your inner little child just as much as you would towards yourself or towards the most important people in your life. And with that, we are coming already to an end of our meditation today. Allow yourself to take 3 more nice deep breaths in and out while you're coming slowly but surely out of meditation.